This segment brought to you by Hope Cancer Care of Nevada, offering state-of-the-art cancer treatment in Pahrump. A little hope goes a long way.
Well, let's join Eunette with this week's court report.
In this week's court report, a Pahrump man arrested and formally charged with sexual assault, contributing to the delinquency or neglect of a minor, and another related charge is in custody, $112,560, cash or bond. James Curtis Valdez was taken into custody after he eventually admitted to police that a female juvenile was at his residence and also admitted to having sex with her. But Valdez denied giving the minor alcohol, consuming drugs in her presence, or sexually assaulting her, as she indicated to police. In fact, Valdez even claimed that said juvenile sexually assaulted him. However, the juvenile's statements were corroborated and drug paraphernalia was located in the suspect's residence after Valdez consented to a search of his residence. Notably, Valdez is also formally charged with giving a false statement to or obstructing a public officer. That juvenile victim, who called police to report Valdez, was reported as a runaway in February 2018, and an officer took custody of that victim to return her to her parents after probable cause was found. During Valdez's formal arraignment, the defendant was given a copy of the complaint and advised of his rights, the charges against him, and procedures. The defendant stated that he understood the nature of the charges on behalf of attorney Nathan Gent, who is actually Valdez's public defender, but was not present during that proceeding. Attorney David Reichert invoked the 15-day rule and requested a preliminary hearing be set within said 15 days. The court set both a preliminary hearing and a status hearing for April 5th, then remanded the defendant to the custody of NCSO. Also notably, before he was taken into custody, Valdez stated that he was currently on parole and probation, and after PNP was contacted, they advised to arrest Valdez as well. The area man arrested and now facing the formal charge of sexual assault of a female victim remains in custody, $100,000 cash or bond, and Jeffrey Fonseca Gomez is scheduled in court tomorrow for a motion hearing. During Fonseca Gomez's formal arraignment, his public defender waived the formal reading of the complaint, requested that a Spanish interpreter be present at all future hearings for him because the defendant was born in Costa Rica and is more comfortable speaking Spanish. The public defender also stated that there is no offer on the table and therefore a pretrial will not be necessary, and invoked the defendant's right to a speedy preliminary hearing. That proceeding has now been rescheduled for April 5th. Fonseca Gomez now has a different retained attorney. The male suspect in a case connected to the stabbing of an elderly woman at a residence on North Barney Street is scheduled in court again April 2nd for sentencing. David Metcalf appeared while in custody, set for his sentencing, but his attorney, Jason Ernest, requested the case be continued because the pre-sentencing investigation report needs to be corrected. Attorney Ernest also addressed the defendant's health issues and alleged lack of medical care at the detention center. However, the court rebuffed Ernest, stating that the health issues are not properly before the criminal court and are a civil court matter. The woman arrested and later sentenced in this case after making a plea deal is Leila Mabel Ashmore. Police say Ashmore was present during that attack and lied to investigators to cover up the crimes committed by Metcalf. This has been your court report. I'm Eunette Gentry for News 46.
Well, KPVM TV and Ace Country Radio is joining the Nye County Republican Central Committee and the Pahrump Valley Times to bring you the 2018 Nye County GOP debates. The debates will be held Friday, April 6th and Saturday, April 7th. The event will take place at the Bob Roode Community Center on the corner of Basin and Highway 160 right here in Pahrump. The event is moderated by Nye County Republican Central Committee Chair Joe Brzezinski, myself, KPVM TV and Ace Country Radio Deanna O'Donnell, and Pahrump Valley Times reporter Robin Hebrook. The schedules are as follows: Friday, Saturday, April 6th from 6 to 7:30 p.m. The candidates for the Nye County Sheriff will be there. 7:45 to 9, candidates for Nevada Attorney General. And Saturday on April 7th from 2 to 4 p.m., the candidates for the Nye County Commissioner position. And from 4:15 to 5, candidates for Nye County District Attorney. If you would like to submit a question to the candidates, please email myself, Deanna, at kpvm.tv. We will be choosing a select number of questions to be asked during the debate submitted by the public.
And if you're looking for something to do that would make a world of difference in a young person's life while enriching yours at the same time, becoming a court-appointed special advocate might be your calling. Now here's the director of the Pioneer Territory CASA, Willie Bear, to tell you more.
We desperately need CASAs. We need volunteers. We have a backlog of cases waiting, and you know, I've told you before that we do a maximum of 2 training classes a year, and we have one coming up in the spring, and we would love to fill it.
And so tell me what the requirements are for a CASA.
For a CASA, you have to be over the age of 21. You have to be inquisitive, you have to have compassion, and you have to have a little bit of the time required to go and do the fact-finding that you need in order to make an informed recommendation to the judge. You know, CASAs are advocates for children in foster care who've been abused and neglected. And the other parties, the parents, whether they're together or apart, they have attorneys. But unfortunately, there's no one for the children to speak up for them. And so that's where CASA comes in.
And so court-appointed special advocates, what's the training like?
The training is roughly 30 hours. It's over a period of 1 month. This year, the month of April. I think it's going to be Mondays and Thursdays, and it's 3 or 4 hours each time. And you learn all about how to be a good investigator and how to make a court report and to report back to the judge. The CASAs are basically the eyes and the ears of the judge.
So how does a person find out about the training, get involved?
They can call our main number, which is 775-513-9514 or 9513. And the information will then, that they give us, will then be passed on to Barb, our training coordinator, and she will call back and give them all the directions necessary. You know, we require the completion of an application, background checks, fingerprinting, references, all that kind of thing.
All right. And so give a phone call. The classes start in April. What date?
Right now it's tentatively scheduled for April 9th, but we may have to move that back a bit if we want a full class.
All right, and we're going to tell you about the winners of a fierce chili cook-off that happened this weekend. Stay tuned.